Hello. Today, as you can see, we're talking about backward, right? And we're not going to follow Fowler, basically because here in the dictionary, we're going to find lots and lots of examples that are going to be very helpful, right? So, um, uh, anyway, what Fowler says is very much what this dictionary will tell us, right? That in most, this is the usage box for backward. In most adverbial uses, backward and backwards are interchangeable, right? So the car rolled slowly backward or backwards, right? They're the same. American English prefers backward, and there's a tendency, right? And the preference is for backwards in British English, right? As an adjective, it should always be backward, right? Though sometimes you do come across backwards, right? And for this, we're going to go up. Sorry about the scrolling. So one thing is, all of these note are adjectival uses, right? So a backward glance, a backward scrape of his heel, a backward movement, and you will see that many are either collocations with movement or with glance, right? Glance, 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 glance. Right? I won't go on. Then you get a backward step, right? As in retrograde. And usually, again, it is step. All the collocations are step, 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 step. Now, it is also used to refer to something, not just direction, right, but having made less progress, right? So backward societies. Now, here we get a good variety. Parliament there, economies, agriculture, the state of Polish culture, persons, people, economically backward families. So so there are many more examples, right? I didn't want to work with the examples, the meanings of sorry, this one that actually did. No, I didn't give you more examples for learning difficulties because this is dated and offensive. Now we also say backward in doing something, and we mean lacking the confidence. So never being backward in coming forward. He isn't backward in backing his young charge for stardom. Backward in promoting environmental credentials, backward in joining them. So lacking the confidence to do something, right? That's a very good case. So I'll stop here for a while in case you want to stop the video and read the examples. And that's it, right? But we haven't seen actually backwards, which is the adverb, right? So we have a movement, you glance backwards, and of course if we check, there will be lots and lots of examples for the backward, back towards the starting point. Sorry, in reverse. Just give me a second to give you all the examples and we can look over them together into worse state, right? So here's what I want to do. This should work. It does. Sorry about this. Okay. So the first one will be about direction, right? Towards your back, right? You glance backwards, and then you will see many examples are like that. Glance backwards, glance backwards. Well, I won't do it again, but you may scamper backwards, roll your chair backwards, right? But then that is just direction, right? Also, back towards the starting point, so roll backwards off the green, run the tape backwards, making it roll backwards. Well, rolling backwards seems to be the most frequent. Then in reverse, you count backwards, right? You tell a tale backwards. Sorry. You count backwards, count. Well, too many for count, right? Yes, that's the most frequent, clearly. Okay. Now, this could be towards the past, so the song Look Backwards to the Long Ago Battles. Look backwards will be a frequent one, but you may wander backwards and move backwards and pull backwards, inwards and backwards, look backwards, right? So into the past. I stop here again in case you want to stop the video and look at the examples. Then into a worse state, sorry, a step backwards for the economy, and then we go back to step, right? Now, it is debatable, right? But this would be the adverbial use, right? not the adjectival. Slide backwards with the verb, that's a leap backwards, right? We continue having many combinations with step, move backwards. And then some idioms, right? You bend over backwards, which is to make a huge effort, right? To do something. We bend over backwards to ensure a fair trial for the defendants, right? You can check the others. Let me just highlight them all so you can have a look at them. You bend over backwards. And so you may bend over backwards to, I don't know, organize a party, right? So you make a huge effort. And backwards and forwards without direction, right? Moving backwards and forwards. Let me just highlight it for you. And you know something backwards, that means you know it very well, right? You know a play backwards, you know a book backwards, you know a place backwards. You know something backwards. Yeah, usually no is the most frequent. No backwards, no, yes. Everything is with no. Okay, so backward, then we're gonna go to forward, right? Now here, let's see, go to adverb, but also forwards, right? So as an adverb, you start the engine and the car moves forward, right? So we're going to have lots of examples with direction towards the bow of a ship in the normal sequence, onward, so as to make progress, push forward, well, towards the future also, or even an earlier time. So either place or time, right? And as an adjective, then we're going to find only forward, right? A forward flight. Position near the enemy lines, situated in on towards the bow or the nose of a ship or an aircraft. Well, let's skip the electronics example. Relating to the future, towards a successful conclusion, further advanced, and here, oh, we started with the adjectival uses, right? A forward person, right? Okay, this is a very good one. So we're going to see more examples there. As a noun, it is less frequent, and as a verb also. But let's just highlight all of these, the ones we have checked. Well, it's not working. Sometimes this doesn't work, and I have no idea why. Let me check again. No. Okay, the adverb then in the direction towards the front, right? So you lean forward, you travel forward, you move forward, you lean forward again, right? So that's clear. I'll stop here. Well, we got the because it says backward, silly me. I'm sure you were all thinking, you need to change the word. All right. Now, well, towards the bow, I didn't get more examples because this is enough, right? So moving forward, yes, below the deck of the ship, just forward of the bridge. Normal sequence, so the number was the same backwards as forwards. We're still in the adverbial use. Onward, you take a step forward, step forwards, right, with an S here. So actually interchangeable, but initially British English will prefer the version with an S, right? Now push forward into prominence, right? So you push forward integration, you push forward a candidate, right? Now also into the future, so you look forward, right? Looking forwards, though. To be frank, even though British English should take the S, in this case with look, we tend to use forward, not forwards, right? Not one of the examples takes an S. To an earlier time, right? So the issue was moved forward. And this is a huge problem in English because people misunderstand this. Forward, does it mean backward or ahead or not? It says earlier time. The definition says earlier, but people don't understand this, so you have to be very careful, right? So initially move forward means to an earlier time. It means before, right? Now, as an adjective, well, a forward flight, that's okay in the direction you're traveling, right? We have many examples here: forward position, forward thrust, forward momentum. In the enemy lines, okay, forward areas, a forward position again, many examples: forward battalion, everything related to wars. Once again, the bow or the nose of a ship. And then, well, relating to the future, forward orders, forward view, forward predictor as an adjective. And then I want to get to the one that describes people. Well, a forward step. Allow me furtherly advance. Allow me forward, yet painfully vulnerable child. So very advanced, right? A forward child. This is one meaning. But also over familiar. Confianzudo, right? A sort of forward sort of person. He was too forward. Forward women. Forward of him. It wasn't so forward, right? Confianzudo. As a noun, yes, the people attacking the attacker, right? Forwards. And in finance also, right? Less frequent. We'll skip this one. I don't have any comments about this one. So let's go to onward. Well, come on. Now we have fewer comments here because onward is an adverb mostly. She stumbled onward or onwards, right? Control F, onward. So here you can see all the examples, right? Usually onwards, right? Plowed onwards, continued onwards, continued, pushed onwards, continue, right? As you can see, the examples repeated themselves. Forward in time, right? And as an adjective, an onward journey, much less frequent, right? So the when you're going, right? So mostly used as an adverb, doing something onwards. And towards, right? Mostly as an adverb, right? In a certain direction, towards the German border. And you can see also all the examples with the S, right? Towards the First Lady, towards a certain place, right? Towards the house, towards is from both directions, towards the foothills. Getting closer moves towards the EU political and monetary union. It didn't happen, actually moved away from the European Union. Closer in time, right? That's not important. Now, towards a person, right? Expressing a relationship and contributing to the cost of. So the council provided a grant towards the cost of new houses. Maybe this is less frequent for you. Let me just highlight the examples so that you can see them. So a grant towards the cost of something, that pays part of, basically, right? So contributions towards the cost of something, and we continue with the grants, right? All the examples go with grants. Well, parents will be able to claim towards any out-of-hours childcare costs, so you can claim those costs, right? So that they're paid to you, right? But we don't use toward as an adjective, right? Only as an adverb, right? Okay, and that is all, right? So remember that the question of the S is typically British. Typically, that doesn't mean it may not occur without S. And in the adverbial use, in the cases in which you're using the adjective, the S naturally disappears. And that is all. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.